Well, we know house prices have fallen substantially from their peak, making new homes more affordable. But a brand new house for £90,000 with all mod cons? Surely not.
Law reporter Kath Mackey is in Telford right now. Tell us more about this, Kath.
Well, Nick, the really amazing thing about this house is it was built in a day. I have to admit to being slightly sceptical when I heard that. I came here thinking it was going to be like one of those sets of Crossroads. Do you remember when the actors used to touch the walls and everything wobbled? But there you go, it's very solid, it's a proper house. Let me take you on a little tour. That's the downstairs loo. Now, they haven't done the plumbing today. They assure me they could have done, but for the purposes of a show home, they didn't bother. If we just keep going through, that's the kitchen. As you can see, they've got the electricity up and running. They fitted it with the appliances. And I'll just wait for Brian to catch me up because I'm through now to the living room. Up above me are 2 bedrooms and the main bathroom. Now, what you've got here essentially is a series of units that were built in a factory and put together on site. And if you're wondering how do you build a house in a day, we'll take a look at this. They started work at 9 o'clock this morning and it took just 6 men 7 hours to build this 2-bedroomed house in the grounds of Telford College of Arts and Technology. The weather was kind and by 4 o'clock it was ready for viewing.
Brilliant initiative by the Shropshire building industry right across the board, companies here from Telford right across Shropshire, and a great example at the college here at TCAT of what can be done in a day where we can actually build a home that is fit to live in for people who are in housing need, and that's the key point.
They've called it the future of sustainable living. The walls aren't fully mortared brick but tiles fixed onto pre-made factory parts. And the insulation levels should mean minimal heating's needed.
The modules come fully completed. Here we have this is the kitchen area, obviously fully fitted, depends on the specification of the client. Just walking through, we come into the main living area, totally completed, off the production line and delivered to site.
People from throughout the construction industry in Shropshire are working together on this project, but they've now got to sell the idea.
Well, we'll be launching it next year, so hopefully things will be looking a little bit more rosy by the time we're up and running in production. We're probably a few months away from that, but I think there's always a demand for housing and cheap, affordable housing, which can be built very quickly.
The people here are now in talks with local councils, trying to get the go-ahead for a pilot site of 10 of these homes, which will go on the market for between £60,000 and £100,000. Well, with me now is Carl Huntley, architect. Carl, we're in a recession. The housing market's had a battering. Why risk something like this?
Well, in times of recession, risks do need to be taken and innovations pushed forward. Clubs like ours, the Shropshire Constructing Excellence Club, has taken this project and pushed it forward with collaborative partners to achieve a house in a day. This basically leads technology into the next phase, which we see the economy turning now and progressing into the next stage. I've
got to ask you about quality. How can something built in a day compete with a traditionally made house? I mean, will it stand up to the elements, for example?
Certainly will. In fact, it will exceed the quality of something that's been built out in the open. This has been put together in a factory environment. It allows very tight quality control, which effectively results in a house at the standard that you can see it standing in now.
Is there a market for it?
There certainly is. The market for this kind of property would be for people who are looking for high quality residential properties, and it also helps when we have enough numbers of these to be able to give an affordable property back to the market, which is needed at the moment.
Carl, thanks very much for that. And if you want to have a look for yourself, the house will be open here at Telford College over the next 2 days. Back to you in the studio.
Thanks, Kath. That's amazing, isn't it? A house in 6 hours. Takes me longer than that to build flat pack furniture from a certain Swedish designer store.
I can't think which one you mean.
Terrible.
I haven't got any IKEA.